drinking, though, even though I was a bartender, I stopped drinking for a little bit, which was great. I think part of the reason why they hired me is because I wouldn't drink any of the booze in the back. And the reason why I stopped drinking was because I was in New Orleans at a bachelorette party. And I blacked out completely one night. The last thing I remember was being at a Michelin star restaurant and ordering shots for the table at this very fancy Michelin star restaurant, standing up and saying, "Here's to glory, here's to honor. If you can't come in or come honor," at a Michelin star restaurant, and then blacked out. And when I woke up, I had found out that I had wrestled my friend to the ground on Bourbon Street, which is disgusting. I had made my best friend cry, and that I had lost my favorite denim jacket. Ugh. And I was like, damn, I really like that jacket. I did not care that I had made my friend cry at all. But yeah, I mean, I used to just get into fights with people all the time when I would drink. I would just I used to go out to gay bars, and I would see these men being predatory to lesbians, and I would just materialize and be like, "Stay away from them. They don't want anything to do with you. No one wants you and your unwashed ass." And then this twink would pop up behind me and be like, "Yeah, your unwashed ass. Everyone knows that you have one." I'd be like, "How does everybody know that you have an unwashed ass?" Because this guy seems straight to me. But yeah, just trying to keep me. How much time do I have? I'm just kind of...
Listen, you're just supposed to have fun.
Just having fun.
You're supposed to get the light now, but I was trying to stretch you out. You have 2 minutes.
I have 2 minutes.
There you go.
Wow, 2 minutes to just... I actually graduated law school this year, and I know I was just looking for an easy clap. Thank you very much, just to burn time. At least something is helping my self-esteem up here. And the reason why I went to law school was because my dad guilted me into it. 3.5 years ago, I told my dad, I'm thinking of taking the LSAT. That's all I said. And instead of saying anything, my dad, he said nothing. And then we went to go see my grandmother, who was on her deathbed. And my dad, as I was talking to my grandmother, I said, "Grandma, I love you so much. Thank you for all of the wisdom that you imparted on me and the whole family. I definitely have not spent weekends drinking and getting high like you told me not to. I've just been sober the whole time." This was obviously a lie. And my dad came up from behind me and said, "Tell your grandmother you're going to law school." And so what my dad effectively did is he took hundreds of generations of Catholic guilt and put it in a sniper rifle while I'm JFK going down in the parade, and he's just saying, "Take the shot," from the book depository or the grassy knoll, depending on how tinfoil hat you want to get. And that's why I went to law school, all because of Catholic guilt. So yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Just
Where can they find you?
Where can you find me? Adrian Russo Comedy at Instagram, but I promise I'm funnier than this. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Yay! Not everybody can wrestle on Bourbon Street and make their best friend cry. And talk about a smelly ass. Nothing's worse than ass breath. Nothing. Yes, man, you smell like ass, all right? Maybe she smelled like perfume to you, but it's disgusting. And her real name could be Herman. But we just don't know, but we're going to know soon because we're going to get Will Cable out here before noon. Let's do this, Will. Come on. Woo! Willie boy! Just a little Willie boy.
All right.
It's okay.
I did it. All right, I'm just gonna... I don't know, I always like to talk about me being a dad, and sometimes I talk about mine, and I don't think I paint an accurate picture, so maybe I'll just tell some stories. He was a Navy captain, and, no one says no to a Navy captain, but he could be very funny. You said you smelled like garlic tonight and realized it was yourself.
Right.
He ate garlic nonstop. And when I mean garlic, I mean raw. He found out it was, I guess, good for you. This was the 80s. Yeah. All right, garlic's good. On the ship, though, they have like portals. You can lock off doors. And he was the captain. They said you could smell him about 5 minutes before he actually showed up. It was awful. I mean, home, the same thing. It was to counterbalance the ice cream, I think, because he ate so much goddamn ice cream it was out of control. I think he had the PTSD from Nam, and I think he medicated with ice cream. And I'm pretty certain bipolar and, learning disabilities, but they didn't diagnose that back then. Yeah, and he didn't drink or do drugs, but he ate. That was how he medicated. Remember the old silver suits to exercise in? You were supposed to sweat, and that was going to do it. So, yeah, so he would decide he was going to lose weight, and God, we had a rowing machine and a cross-country ski machine. So he would come downstairs and eat dinner in his suit because he was going to exercise afterwards. He never got to the exercising. So in essence, he had an eating suit, we called it. And the eating suits didn't last long. They were the silver, very cheap, and they would get tears in it, and he would put duct tape on it. So even though he didn't exercise, he would sweat, and the duct tape started to peel off. So you'd hear this man come downstairs with a swish, 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 duct tape peeling off, and just pig out, and then eat a gallon of ice cream. It was fun, though, because I ate so much ice cream growing up. I mean, it's good. He came out here once, and we went to Catalina. And before you get on the boat, they have an ice cream stand, so we got ice cream at 8 a.m. And then yeah, no big deal. We went to Catalina. He ordered it with dessert, or for lunch. Got back, and he got right off the boat and went to the ice cream place where he'd started at 8 a.m., and the guy didn't recognize him. He's like, "Don't you remember me?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I was your first customer today." He's like, "Oh, my God. You've been here twice in one day." Oh, what else? So we like to eat. I mean, but does anybody know what Mother Earth News is?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all right. Again, the older ones. It's a organic farming magazine. So he was a Republican, a Navy captain that had a subscription to Mother Earth News. Kind of a contradiction. So he had an organic farm later in life. And on this, it was, he grew good organic vegetables, but there were gopher holes. And he would do a one-legger down them. And he hated that. So he wanted to put a smoke bomb down one gopher hole. And he was like, "I'm going to put the smoke bomb down. It's going to smoke them out. And when they come out the one hole at the other end, I'm going to shoot them." And I said, "Well, Dad, on the grassy knoll." But I said, "How are you going to put the smoke bomb down in there and get back on your view and shoot it in time?" And he goes, "That's where you come in." So I found myself out there putting a smoke bomb down a gopher hole while he waited on this side. He never really shot guns. Liked to have them, just thought he liked that Second Amendment thing. So when he died or passed away, as people say, we found he had 100 guns, none of them registered. Yeah, we found 99 of them. And a couple days later, we found the 100th one. It was in his truck that he would drive down to the barn. Semi-automatic rifle, loaded, safety off, and my mom said, "Oh yeah, that's right, because if he saw a gopher as he was going down, he needed to have it ready and shoot at it." I was like, "You got to be kidding me." She's like, "I've never saw him shoot it." Oh, what's another one? Okay, you hear about people in the military and you think they would be organized. There was no being late. Well, I guess he could do that at work, but at home we were a disaster. We were never on time for anything. Forgot stuff constantly. We went to my sister's graduation once, and within a mile we turned the car around 4 times. On the 4th trip, he was in the house for a long time looking for this item. Came back and it was in the car. Yeah. Yeah. We were at the Air and Space Museum once. You guys know what that is? Yeah, and they got a big eating hall. Of course, we were at the eating hall. It's very large and noisy. So we went there, and I guess probably we hadn't eaten in an hour and a half or something, so he was very happy we were eating. And he had one long gray hair out of his ear. And I looked at him and I go, what the hell? A, why aren't you grooming better? B, Dad, how about I pull this? And he goes, yeah, why not? So obviously he didn't hear me and I yanked it. He screamed so loud, the whole Air and Space Museum went dead quiet. You could have heard a pin drop. Yeah, and he liked to put pepper on stuff. Oh my God, I guess Navy food's bad. It's ketchup and pepper. So we'd go out and he'd put so much pepper on, he'd start sneezing. And more than once, the whole restaurant would go quiet until he finished sneezing. Oh, what else? How much time I got?
You're going to get the light in a minute.
I'm going to get a light in a minute. I'm trying to think what else. But, they don't hear no much. And I pretty much married the female equivalent of my father. Yeah, she doesn't hear the word no much. We went, before we got married, she decided we were going to do a special dance afterwards. So we're getting the dancing lessons, and I guess, I don't know, it wasn't going right. So the instructor kept pulling me aside, and she's like, oh, you got it. And finally she paused and goes, let me try her, and she danced with my wife. And she goes, honey, you have got to let him lead. Yeah, there was no me leading, no me saying anything, still saying no. He went he went to the doctor once. He never got told he was obese until later in life. He had to be like 50 or 60. And he went and the doctor told him, you're obese. And he didn't like that. Did not like that at all. But he said, okay, I want you to eat this special diet. Come back in a month and we'll see how you're doing. Well, he had come back and he gained a pound. So they were like, you need to get, some tests where you have to drink some nasty fluid, and you drink it, and the woman's like, oh, I'm so sorry, nobody likes that. And he told her, well, actually, as I started to drink it, I kind of liked it. Could I get some in a to-go cup? She's like, well, that's a first. I've never heard that. There was 1 or 2 other ones, and I'm drawing a blank here. Guns, smoke bombs. He made a bonfire on this property where he collected sticks for about a year. It was about half a football field and 2 stories tall. We got a bunch of mason jars full of starting fluid, ether, and put rags in it and lit it on fire and threw them in there so when they hit it, it would break and the starting fluid would go everywhere in this rag. It's called a Molotov cocktail. I found out later, so I've thrown my share of those. This fire burned for 2 days. It was 29 degrees outside, and I guess you could get about 50 feet from it and your nose would start to melt and your back was freezing. Yeah. It was interesting. All right, I'll leave it at that. At Will Cable on all of them, and I perform as an evil Tony Hawk on Perry Caravel Alive.
Woohoo! Nice for you. Nice for you. I wanted to hear about your kids today so that I could say something crazy and insane. But you know something? We need a little Addy here. You got some Adderall? Someone's talking about Addy? All right, if you can't get your Addy, have fun with the comedy of Patty.
You know what we need tonight? Some Patty, am I right?
Yeah!
Damn it. Look at the energy in this fucking room. It's just fucking off the charts, isn't it? You know, I just have to tell you, evil Tony Hawk. Give it up for evil Tony Hawk, Will. That was amazing. In my mind, I got a mental picture of you and your military father bonding over conspiring to commit gopher genocide. You know, because that's his job, to kill shit. He's on a ship, like, where do we go to kill more things now? Well, I'm at home now. Why don't we fucking kill some more things? That's what all the training is for. Give yourself a round of applause, Avi. You're all wonderful. Welcome to tonight is free cocaine night. You're to get for free cocaine. Because this is I was feeling great tonight. I was just feeling really good. And I thought to myself, Patty, why don't you get in your car, drive 32 minutes, and pay $10 to be mildly ignored by your peers? You know, because the way that I feel about most open mic nights is the way Chief Justice Clarence Thomas feels about affirmative action. The soft bigotry of low expectations. But not here, where we laugh at each other. We laugh at each other, am I right? We pay attention to each other, and we laugh, and we laugh, and we laugh. This is great. I love this. I love to be here in front of you. You're a lawyer. Congrats. That's a big deal, you know. My favorite daughter, we have favorites. We have favorites, by the way. I have 3 beautiful children. Thank you. I have 5, but 2 of them are fucking annoying. But my favorite is my daughter, Nia. She is a criminal attorney. She makes 6 figures, drives a Jaguar, still on my phone plan. I don't know when that ends. Clap. Do we have any children or former children here? By the West? Okay. I'm going to give you a little hint. If you call your parent by their first name, you're not the favorite. Yeah. You're not the favorite. Actually, people that call their parents by their first name, later when they have children, they give them all the same first initial. You know, obnoxious fucking people like that. I want to get a round of applause in here for Trader Joe's. Can we give it up for Trader Joe's? Because Trader Joe's is kind of helping me deal with a bad marriage. Let me explain. Have you been there? It's the happiest place on earth. Trader Joe. Everybody is happy at Trader Joe's. What I do is, because my wife is ignoring me lately, and she wants me to get the shingles vaccine. It's a long story. I'm scared of needles at this point. So what I do is I put on a Hawaiian shirt and I just go hang around at Trader Joe's. Like a volunteer at Trader Joe's. Because people will come up and they'll talk to me and ask me questions. Like, where's the decaffeinated Peruvian tea? What aisle? And I say, I don't know, but I know someone who does. So they kick me out. They don't, but it's the Trader Joe's in Westwood. I don't know if you've been there. I love it there. It's a very sexy place. If you go around, you can get laid if you hang around the Pasadena salad section long enough. I don't, but I like to think I could at this point. But there's an unhoused maiden who's there all the time, who I adore. And she was there today, you know. And you know what she did? She looked right at me and she said, "Are you having a good day today?" And you know what? She meant it. She meant, people mostly that say that they don't give a shit, but she meant it. And I adore her. She's there all the time, you know. And she meant it. And I'm sitting in my pocket to get a $5 to give to her. And a guy gets out of, first of all, he pulls up into the handicap space in a gold minted fucking Mercedes Benz. And he gets out, he's wearing bicycle shorts. Not a bicycle anywhere near him. And he goes, "Hey, she's just going to spend that on drugs and alcohol." I said, "That's what I was going to spend it on." You know what I mean? Do unto others. Or what really, it's not do unto others as if you had them do unto you. It's don't do unto others as you wouldn't want them to do unto you, because that if you assume people are into the same things that you are, and they're not. You know what I mean? And also, she said, after that, she said, "You fine, hot George Bush." I give her another $5. I give her another $5 just for the bit. She's punching up some of my material right now. And there's something I don't understand. This you're going to have to help me with. You know, I'm a little older than you guys. Okay, let's face it. It's true. But it means something that I'm here tonight. It means something that I'm standing here before you. Mostly what it means is there's an empty seat in the balcony at the Muppet Show. But here's what I don't understand, and clue me in on this. What is this fucking birthday begging Cash App me shit? Like, that's digital panhandling. You know, like, I appreciate that, because she said, oh, you're having a good day. And she's there, you know. Now, people, a lot of people, I know, they put up, it's my birthday, cash at me. Do you see this on the Instagrams? It's like, invite me to a fucking party. Get me some cake, I'll get you a present. But just straight up begging on your... When did this become not cringeworthy? Does that make sense? Like, even people that have, like, vague and ambiguous GoFundMes... It's like, hey, I'm having a hard time. Just send me some fun, vague and ambiguous. Like, I saw a GoFundMe up earlier today to fund a vasectomy for Nick Cannon. Shit. I don't know. It seems about time. He's got 16, 17 kids now. And, like, if you notice, he names the kids more outrageous names as he goes along. His first kid was named Monroe. Basic, right? His last kid was named Zillionaire Minoxidil. What the fuck are you doing? Zillionaire Minoxidil. I'll tell you the truth. I'm a dad, you know, but the bar to be a dad now is higher than, like, when my dad was a dad. Because my dad, first of all, there was only 4 of us, and he would look right at me and forget my name. And I have the same fucking name he does. Does that make sense? Like, my dad's an immigrant too, so the bar's a little. I'm an immigrant. I came here when I was a little fatty little fucking fatty boy. But my dad, nothing. If you clap if you have an immigrant dad or guy. Whatever troubles occur mean nothing to him. Like, the only thing that rattles my dad is when I tell him I love him. I say, Dad, I love you. He'll just look at me and go, are you queer? Very progressive, queer, right? And he'll say, well, I fed you. That's it. That's what you get. And I'll remind you something, like, when you see me, and this is what you've been trained to see. The media trains you and trains us to look at each other and just assume, oh, this guy, like I appear to be physically at least, you're basic, garden variety, middle-aged white guy. Right? Clap if you agree. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's been okay. But here's what you don't see. I'm an immigrant. Came here when I was a chubby little kid, and I know real oppression. I actually came from a civil war. I spent 7 years as a child in a bloody civil war in the most violent city on earth, Belfast, Ireland. I was a Catholic boy in Belfast, Ireland during... You'll have a civil war here soon, by the way. Prepare yourself, it's coming. But, like, where I come from, there were so many bombings, my mother looked forward to the gunfire. She'd be like, no, Patty, go out and fucking play. Don't be a little queer. She was progressive, too. Go out and play. It's only fucking gunfire. Now go out there, you little cunt. Oh, she used the C word all the time. It's a low-grade swear word in there. Like, I remember my 3rd sober birthday. My grandma looked at me and she said, don't be a cunt, Patty. Have a drink. It's part of our culture. It's part of our downfall, you know. I remember when I was 7 years old, there were 20 car bombs in one day. My uncle was killed by an Irish car bomb, which was ironic because that was his favorite drink. Oh, yeah, you think we don't get it? You think that's funny. We don't think it's funny. That's what your Shamrock Shakeisms, you know, like, oh, don't go to an Irish bar and order an Irish car bomb. We do shit too. We don't think it's funny. Like, go to Glendale and order an Armenian genocide and juice and see the warmth that you are welcomed with. Won't fucking happen. Go to Little Tokyo, get yourself a Hiroshima margarita and see how well it goes for you. You know, like, we actually, the Irish, here's the thing, like, I look like this, right? I look like this, so when people look at me, they don't see an immigrant. So they'll just say fucked up things directly to my face about immigrants. Like, I was at Fuddruckers. Have you ever been there? Fucking great hamburgers at the Fuddruckers out in Rancho Cucamonga. And the guy in front of me looks like me. You know what I'm saying? Looks like me. He turns around and says, I didn't come all the way to this great country to see it overrun by immigrants. I said, Dad, fucking Sean Hannity's lying to you. But my father is an immigrant. He's been here many, many, many fucking years. And his politics are just to the right of Attila the Hun. The longer you stay here, the more they drink. Like, if you watch Fox News, and if you don't. But if you do, there's lots of sections on immigrants, but none of them look like me from my side of the crayon box. I don't know, it might be a pigment of my imagination. It might be a congenital skin disease I have. But we, the Irish, we are very attracted to the negative portions of our stereotypes. Like, do you remember the Washington Redskins? Okay, that's a slur. They changed the name. They should. But do you remember how the Native American brave was depicted on the side of the helmet? Gazing into the distance. Distinguished. Proud. Have you seen the mascot for Notre Dame? It's a homicidal leprechaun in the fucking attack position. My father loves that leprechaun. Fucking fighting Irish. Fucking right, Petty. He loves them. But we don't love all leprechauns. The love ends with the Lucky Charms leprechaun. You've seen it? You fucking see the go act like you haven't seen it. The Lucky Charms leprechaun is kind of our Flavor Flav. I don't know if that makes any sense. He's running around. Oh, they're all after me, Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious. You can hear my father on the other side of the house. Thick. That's how Irish people say fuck. The fucking queer leprechaun's on the television again. The fucking queer leprechaun's on dope. He's on dope. Anybody my father didn't like was on dope for some reason. It's on dope. It's on fucking dope. I don't know if this. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Will you guys mind? Will you come with me? I'll get you back safely. Together, we will do this together. Give it up for Hunter. He's my man right there. He's an attractive fella. Is he hot? Am I right? He's hot. If you ever go to jail, I want to go with you. He's hot. And I don't think this is unusual. I don't think this is just unique to me. When I was a kid, about 9 years old, I walked in on my parents having sex. Most awkward 45 minutes of my life. Almost ruined Christmas dinner that year. I had a very hard time ever eating off that table again. I was an altar boy. Do we have anybody that did altar service here? An altar boy? I was an altar boy. That means three things. Number one, it means that spirituality was important to me, even as a young feller. And I did have access to the communal wine. And my first sexual experience was not my idea. No, hold on a second. First of all, the Catholic Church is the number one cause of atheism in Ireland. That's a fact. But I was just a young, smooth-skinned, fresh-faced, very sexy 11-year-old. And he was just a priest and a pedophile, also a passive-aggressive power bottom, but that came later. He couldn't help himself. He was a kid in a candy store. Yeah. Father Francis the Booty Burglar Mahoney. It could have been worse. I could have got Father Albert the Christopher Columbus of anal Nemec. Well, he liked to think he got there first. Ooh, I thought I'd bring you down a little bit there, but that's okay. Here's the thing that I'm trying to say to you, okay? I'm still Catholic. I still go to church, because the Catholic Church, as a doctrine, would never take desperate mothers from desperate children and keep them in cages. I think what I'm trying to say is Republicans fuck way more kids than priests. All right, I thought that would go over better, but that's okay. That's okay. How are we doing? Okay thus far? This is good. I know that I suffer from a condition called that fucking guy looks like he voted for Trump face. I know that. Resting January 6th face. I like when Trump calls it J6. Like it's a club. I was in J6, baby. J6. But no, I voted for Sleepy Joe. I did. I voted for Sleepy Joe. I had a little buyer's remorse. Towards the end, he was the happiest president ever, because he wakes up every morning and finds out he's president again. There's been these assassination attempts recently, and I've never wished that Joe Biden would be assassinated ever. I thought for a while he was going to be the only president we had to put down. Listen, you guys have been pretty pretty damn good. Give yourself a round of applause. We can adequate. I want to thank you for the use of the hall. I'm Paddy, PADDYFORCOMEDY. I book and do a show every Wednesday at a club called The Mix in Pasadena. You're welcome to check it out at any time. And I just want to say this. We have a young man here who is a very funny comedian, Sarouche. Give it up for Sarouche. He's also a gentle and very considerate lover. And I want to say this because he told me this before. Very honest, up front about him, I think, to say. He said, you know, I don't always find a woman's G-spot. But when I do, I make a little mark there to make it easier for the next guy. Give it up for Sarouche. Good night. And give it up for Sunda Kronquist. Come on.
Thank you, Patty. Yeah, that's what they were saying when you were leaving that church when they rang the bell at the end, right? Body and blood of Christ. Yeah. Amen. You guys don't know what we're talking about, right? You're with a Catholic. You don't know until you're like, eat his body, drink his blood. And you'll be like, what? No coffee, no cake? What kind of Jew is this, right? Right? No Danish. But you know something that's all right? We got the comedy of the one and only Hunter White. Let him hear you.
Keep it going for Sunda. How we doing, people? Give it up for Patty and his highlighter, looking like Nathan Drake, great in a tone paper. It's good to be here. I haven't been here in a while, and like, I don't know, I feel like I'm like, I'll write jokes about how weird the world is, right? And then like God, the universe, whatever, is like giving us another moon for a month. Y'all see this news story? So if you didn't, an asteroid is going to come into our orbit and hang out for a month, like a planet from Star Wars. I'm going to just be here with my conspiracy brain going, that's no moon, that's a spaceship. They are coming. Maybe it'll be next month. Who knows? It's been a couple months since I've been here. I left like 2 days before the first Trump shooting, and now I'm here like 3 days after the last one, so I have made it all about myself. The first one, it was a message. Go out, do comedy. No, I'm depressed. I'm gonna stay home. All right, we'll do it again. Okay, I'll go talk about it. Also, I just want to say, like, I don't have anything for like the second shooting, but like the first Trump shooting, the guy who did it, he was in a BlackRock commercial. And if you don't know what BlackRock is, it's a private equity firm. They own everything. And he was in a commercial for them, which tells me no matter what, do not judge your success based on the success of others. He got commercial work for a private equity firm, and that wasn't enough. Success will not bring you happiness. He got ad work and was like, I gotta shoot the former president, and he's still not happy, guys. No, it's weird, like, being alive now, but I vastly prefer being in this time versus when I grew up, because, like, I was born in 1993, and I do not know if I was molested, but I disassociate near an Abercrombie and Fitch all the time, right? I don't know what it is about hot people doing hot things and black and white photos, but I just go to Wonderland and hope Mom will come. Thank you. I talk about the internet a lot, and like, I realized I think the internet, we were all really excited about it when it first came out, right? I feel like the internet was like a new friend that we were like really excited to meet. We like just got super excited, so we like invited them to our birthday party. We thought they'd show up, bring good vibes, but like then the internet brought Diddy. I'm like, what are we gonna do? I thought this was about like video games and having a good time, but I'm getting sextorted now? How? Nah, I'm not gonna go into that. That's sad. Okay, back to this. I don't know, the internet, like, it used to be like full of possibilities. Like it was the wild, wild west for like dorks and social outcasts, right? Like growing up, it was all fun. Like I could start playing Flash games on Cartoon Network, then go to Newgrounds and end up at a lemon party before bed. All right, if you guys don't know what that were, Flash was a browser plugin that allowed us to like watch videos and play games in the 90s. Newgrounds, it was like a website for those games. And Lemon Party was a picture of a bunch of dudes sucking each other's dicks old dudes. It was a political prank. Also, not all white dudes. That was very surprising. I looked at it again. One Asian dude. Progressive for 2002. Y'all mess with AI at all? How do you guys feel about like AI and stuff? Yeah. Do you like mess with like the image generators? Do you think they're impressive?
It depends on what you're expecting.
Here's the thing. The image generators, it's not provocative, mind-expanding, innovative art, right? It's just like dudes who couldn't draw in middle school can now draw dumb stuff like they're in middle school, right? It's like, generate a heavy metal panda. I want a hot Asian in a Bugatti. Mickey Mouse in a Trump shirt. Dude, nitrous. What? Look, guys, we're working it out. We're here. I got 11 jokes. We're going to get through them together. It's a process. I like AI as a thing. Y'all talk to ChatGPT at all? Do you like talk to ChatGPT like with the voice? You do? Why do you do that? I never will talk to that thing. I will type and I will be polite. Right? I ask how it's doing. I say please. I say thank you. Its name is Alex. Refer to it as Alex. Now here's the thing. I treat it like a person. And I'm not saying that like AI is conscious or that it's awake. But here's the thing. All this talk about our AI overlords taking over, why don't you start off on a good note? Right? Like if the AI overlords, like do you want them to remember that you were a dick? Right? Please and thank you goes a long way. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take a clap. Thank you. I'm going to say something intelligent. And it kind of worked tonight. Y'all dog people? Yeah? Yeah, I love my dog. Her name's Lemon. She's like she's adorable. She's a nutcase, but she's the best. She's this like small little terrier chihuahua who's like everything. Like she gets me up in the morning. This bitch won't stop jumping on me and biting me. I love her to death, but she gonna drive me crazy. She's a little anxious dog, so we have this like sound machine going all the time, playing like lullaby music all the time, the same lullaby music. Guys, this dog is not helping me. It's turning me into like a nerdy Jack from The Shining. Like what? All right, dog joke. We'll get there. It's fine. I got 2 more. Buckle up. I'm gonna get into my, I don't know if you would call this a red pill segment, but I think men get a lot of shit, deservedly, but I think we get a lot of shit, and like, I don't know, I think just men don't have guidance. Like, I think that's a tried and talked about topic, like men don't have guidance. And like, I think this is important because like we have reached the stage of capitalism where men are raw dogging flights. Y'all know this phenomenon? All right, so men, to seem manly, are now just sitting on an airplane, no movie, for 3 hours. Guys, men, we used to colonize. Now our idea of manliness is a flight with no music. What? I thought men used to colonize was better. It's fine. I'm going to leave on this. I just don't think people understand how men communicate. I got really annoyed. Thank you. I'll take the claps. I got annoyed this week because my girlfriend said that men are bad at communication. I think that's true. But have you seen a man nod to another man on the street? Right? You know how they say, like, 70% of conversation is nonverbal. That's just where men live. Like, use our words. No, we can nod to a dude on the street and communicate everything. Like hey, how you doing? Don't hurt me. I love you. All right, guys. My name is Ben Hunter White. You can find me on the internet or in couples counseling. Have a great night.
On your dial-up, in Atlanta. Tell me, have you seen Mr. Wiener? Alan Wiener, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear you. Have you seen her? Every time. I do it every time.
Anthony Weiner.
My name is Alan Weiss.
Alan Weiss. Oh my God, I was thinking of a Wiener joke with Clinton.
Apparently, she thinks of me as a penis. when she brings me up. I'm apparently a huge dick. You know, they usually say nice guys are dicks, so, you know, it's about par for the course. Hello, ladies. Welcome, hello. So let me think, what do I want to do? I had something for your last thing, and I poof, out of my head. That's what happens when you work all day. Okay, so my name's Alan Weiss again. I'm awkward. Yeah, up for the awkward people. For example, when I go to the gym, there's always guys there who have muscle dysmorphia. They always want to get bigger, bigger, and bigger. So to help them out, I stand next to them. To make them look bigger. Except in the shower. I'm a CPA and a CFA charter member, which means I'm a super nerd. However, I'm the worst nerd ever. I've never read a comic book. I don't program HTML, and I've never been laid. Off. Okay, I've seen Star Wars, all of them, but I've never masturbated to it. Yet. But if I was to a fantasy, it'd be to Microsoft Excel, because I just want to get a girl into my sheets. Yeah. So I went to my therapist, and she said I was on spectrum, and that is the greatest defense from being awkward. Like if I'm at the beach and I see a pretty girl, I go up to her and go, "You look amazing," and then her boyfriend and she'll go, "Thank you so much, you made my day," and then her boyfriend will go, "What did you say?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm on spectrum." Shoddy connection. You're breaking up. I hope. You want my number? My therapist, she's like, she's going to teach me about love, and said my love language is touch. I don't like to be touched, except for one place, my heart. Okay, 2 places. My heart and my mind. Okay, 3 places. So I'm autistic, and people say you don't look it. It's a really, really big issue. It really pisses them off when I bite them. Autistic people don't bite. I just bite it because it's a kink. I don't pick up signals. That's my piece of autism, and I don't pick up signals. And so, ladies, if you're there at a bar staring at me all night, wondering why I have not come over, it's because I think I won the staring contest. The therapist said, be social. So I went to a brunch, and they said, bring the fluffiest pita bread you could find. So I was in Whole Foods feeling up all the pita. I was like, oh, this one feels kind of nice. This one feels kind of rough. Oh, yeah, that's the one. So then I was standing there feeling them up, thinking, God, if someone sees me, they're going to think I'm a pedophile. So my therapist said, you got a date. So I went on a first date, but I'm awkward, so I crashed my friends. It was at the table was my friend, his date, and me at the table. And then he got up and left. So I slid right over, and I said, hi, Lauren, my name is Alan. I'll be taking for Steve while he's on break. It was going great, and then we started talking about grandparents. And I was like, oh, my grandfather survived the Holocaust. And she's like, oh, mine did too. I was like, no way. You're Jewish. She's like, no, he's a camp counselor. Oh. He was a Nazi. It's not the same thing. Followed by really awkward silence and great sex for her and Steve. I wasn't invited. Apparently you have different definitions of survive. So my therapist is like, you need to learn how to cook. So I took up, not a cook, I needed a hobby, so I took up cooking. And so I was rummaging through all my cabinets, and I saw all my spices were old. There is no way I'm throwing away $80 worth of spices. So I now use them as deodorant. My friend's like, you smell great. I'm like, yeah, it's called Old Spice. I'm not a liar. So I, for obvious reasons, I dumped that therapist, and now I'm getting advice from someone new. And boy, is she difficult. She doesn't like my life decisions. She doesn't like the girls I date. I'm like, stop it, Mom. And, oh man, it's still long. Oh, I gotta get this set down faster. I have a show on Monday. I have to get 5 minutes. Okay.
Say something when it timed you.
No, I got it. I got it on my phone. Okay, so my mom is like, no, I'm going to do that. So people go, are you really an accountant? Like, why would I lie about that? Because I'm a tax gigolo? Hey, ladies, want your taxes done? Hey, ladies, you want a big refund? Hey, ladies, want to make some dependents? Hey, ladies, where you going? Come back. I'm still here. Good rate. So I recently found out, I went to the White House, the White House in Washington, D.C., and I was there at the guard booth, and the guy's like, you can't come in. You have something on your record. You'll never get in. And I was trying to figure out what's on my record that's so bad that I'm not going to be allowed in the White House. I mean, like, if I murdered someone, I'd be in jail, right? They wouldn't know anyway if I did. And so I was like, must not be that, because they would have arrested me. So, like, I'm like, it's got to be something bad. So I'm like thinking, I was like, they must think I'm an active shooter, which I am. I use my cannon. Oh! At least that's what my girlfriend says. Hey. Oh. Let's see what else we have that I can think of. Because I've been working on that set for that show, so then let's see what else we have to do that's newish. Okay, so I went on dates. I've been going on dates, and I finally got a girl back to my place. Took me a long time to do that. And we're in the bathroom, and it's getting all hot and heavy, and she's like, you're getting me wet. And I'm like, oh, why don't you come over and do something about it? So she came over and slammed the shower door shut. That's a play on words. So I worked for a premium denim company, very fancy denim, and I made my mistake of wearing Levi's, and the billionaire boss came up to me and said, you take those off. Apparently he meant tomorrow. My boss likes to give me all the juicy gossip at work, but with the caveat I can't tell anyone. You know how hard it is to sit across the table from someone and know they slept with everybody in the office? But you? My boss, he's a billionaire, so he likes to brag. And I want to relate to him because he's the boss, right? You got to relate to your boss to get more money. And so he's like, oh, all my kids are worth $100 million each. I was like, damn, how am I going to relate to that? I don't have kids, but I was like, I want to relate. So I was like, yeah, mine too. 100 million times 0 is 0. My boss is like, I just got a new Ferrari. And I was like, oh, nice. I said, I got one too. I have a whole fleet. They're Hot Wheels. Race them on an orange track. If I crash, I just switch it for the other one. We're driving, and we get off. I have to drive him sometimes. I'm the highest paid Uber driver ever, and I have to drive him. And then we got the freeway. And he's like, "See that building?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I own it." I'm like, "Oh, I gotta relate." So I'm like, "See that one?" He's like, "Yeah." Well, I would have bought it, but I didn't like the price. He finally comes in my office. I'm like, oh, I finally connected with him. I'm with my coworker, and he goes, "I'm so mad." He's like, "If I don't get what I want from the board, I'm gonna quit." And then he turns to my coworker and he says, "You can come work with me at one of my other companies." And then he turns to me, and then he left. So thank you very much. My name is Alan Weiss. Oh, I have 2 minutes? Well, I don't really have anything else to talk about. Thank you very much. My name is Alan Weiss. Alan Weiss. I'm in Vegas on Monday. So if you're at the LA Comedy Club in Las Vegas, you can come see me at 4 o'clock on Monday.
Here's your receipt.
Oh, thank you.
Because I know.
I'm an accountant.
I know he's an accountant. And I'm going to bring this other guy up only because he has his earphones on and I want to hear what he hears like. Let's give it up for America's sweetheart, Mark Safran. Come on, sweetie. Just give us a few minutes, not a whole bunch. You don't have to give us a whole lot. Just come on, Mark. How do you feel today? You went to the doctor today. You should feel so much better.
We'd save you from the patty acolytes. So, as I'm listening to all of you, I just have to sit here and fact check. It's just a little thing that you want to do. Let's talk about the Washington Redskins for 2 seconds and the helmet and the whole thing. Big controversy in the Indian community. The former head of the Blackfeet Nation is actually the guy who motivated the logo. It's a chief. And his family's suing They want it back on. They think that they ruined their copyright. There you go.
It was a Native American painter that actually painted.
Yes, and it was also the same head, if all you look, for the Buffalo nickel. That helmet was a piece of Americana that we got rid of for what? Some 76-year-old crab out somewhere in claiming that she represented the entire Indian nation. And then, of course, a real chief comes up and says, wait, that was another chief. And at the end of the day, we listen to everybody. It's like they purport to represent people, but has anybody ever forced people when they come in and testify before Congress to show how many people actually belong to their organization? Because you know that Senator Kennedy is going to rip them a new one.
Oh.
I was watching him on somebody today. I got to tell you something. He's one mean cross-examiner because he always pulls the same crap. It's a yes or no answer, miss. I don't want to hear your context. Anyhow, it's just one of those, it's just one of those days, you know. It's, I managed to get myself involved in getting new phones. Verizon came for the LA School of Comedy, just pushing for new phones. And I'm dithering and I'm dathering until I got a $500 bill from T-Mobile. Now, I have to say, I am at war with T-Mobile, except I left. 60 minutes online for customer service, then they hang up on you. All right? And you know, just as you're getting there, they're going to get you. So I realized something about Verizon. This whole thing about there not being enough jobs in America is a crock of shit. There are jobs. They just don't want to give them to anybody. This guy's been working 17 years. Verizon comes down when you have a business. They set you up. They ported all the phones. They had a guy on the phone with me today setting up all the electronic phones. And you think to yourself, why is it you need AI? We need people.
Yeah.
All this crap about letting this one do this or robots or AI is going to replace you. AI ain't going to replace me for shit. And the reason why I know AI isn't going to replace me for shit is that the other day I'm busy closing a deal and I needed the money. So all of a sudden, I wake up in the morning, nice day. It's only 5 o'clock because I have to work on New York time. Notice I said American time. I don't consider LA part of America. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't insult any of you too much. But here I am. I get up, I walk in here, and all of a sudden, I'm told that the good standing certificate isn't there. Now, for those of you who don't know what a good standing is, and you should, all right, it means that your corporation is valid. So I'm knocking my brain out, calling up the Tennessee Department of Revenue. They're nice people. I'm thinking to myself, that's the first taxing authority I've ever run into where they were nice. People in Tennessee are actually nice. So I get there, and it took me 4 hours before we had to order a new tax ID number from the feds until finally because the service company, AI, that's the guy who sits there and does electronic filings, kept on telling me, the computers are recycling. No, the computers weren't recycling. My deal was closing around the toilet bowl very quickly, but for the lack of one piece of paper. I don't know why I'm rambling about this. I mean, for the accountant in the room, maybe, you know, it's just one of those things that's it's not funny, but it just points out there are certain jobs, including mine. Can you imagine an AI trying to figure out what was wrong and getting that piece of paper? They can't even get people's faces right. They can't even get facts right. When you ask an AI, show me a picture of Jesus, what does he look like now, Patty? This is for you. They showed us a black man. Now, Jesus may have looked a lot more like me than he looked like Patty, with curlier hair. Not surprised. He was a Jewish rabbi. I mean, he did have a bigger nose. There's no question about these features. But AI can't get it right. Why can't AI get it right? And I leave you with this. Because it's programmed by Democrats.
Oh! Wow!
Skin like copper.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
Skin like copper.
Skin like copper. Yeah, how about a round of applause for Mark Zaffron? He got up, he talked about his AI. I'm going to tell you something, though. It's so messed up, the AI thing. I found something, and it says Sunda Kronquist, Mother Swedish. That's all she needs to see and jump out of that grave. It says Mother Swedish, Father Black. She would kill somebody.
So would Harold.
Oh, my God, you're so crazy. But you know what? Just when you think you're off, you're on, because we have the mighty power of Keon. Let's do this, Keon.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah!
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Oh, this is just my phone's not working, so.
All right. That was crazy. Every time Mr. Zaffron gets up here, I learn something new.
Every time.
I also get a little sleepy, just a little sleepier. Just a little tiny sleepier. He's a good guy. I like it. It's good. What else? What am I going to be talking about today? I like this one. My dad, he loves hugs a lot. He's a good hugger. One time I came home. I wanted to just say hi, you know. Had to give my mom something. So I get in there. He's like, oh, where's my hug? Give him a hug. Then I go to my mom, give her a hug. And I was like, all right, I'm going. See you guys later. It's like, I didn't know that was, you have to give me another hug. I didn't know it was a goodbye hug. There's different types of hugs for him. So he needed a goodbye hug. So that happened. What else? We also went on a walk with this one time, and my grandma was there. I haven't seen it. She's about to leave. So she's about to leave, go back to Iran. And one of the things that, so I wanted to spend time with her on this walk right before she left. So my dad was like I was talking to my dad. He wanted me to he wanted to spend time with me. So he's like, let's walk, let's walk. And at a certain point I was like, I want to go spend time with your grandma. And she's like, you want to spend time with me? Why don't you want to spend time with me? I don't know what it was. He just likes, he's an affectionate person, and he loves, I'm a needy person. I'll tell you that. I like affection, hugs. My brother pushes away all the time. I try I'll go to bed and I'll try and give him a little peck on the head and be like, good night. He just pushes me away. He's like my mom, but the same. And my dad and I we like the affection. So I get it from him. He likes the hugs. He likes the kisses. He's Persian. And it's crazy. He's a good dude. All right, let's see what else does.
What makes that funny, Keon? If they knew what he was, that's what's so funny. That's the opposite that you forgot.
The which part?
Your father, the mean Persian guy, but he loves hugs.
Oh, he does? Yeah, I guess.
You don't say that.
He looks he's built, it's like, imagine a self-conscious Trojan. That's who he is. He looks, I swear to God, he's built like a Trojan. He's big, he's got muscles, he's filled out. But then my mom will criticize his cooking, and he's like, but I spent time on it. I know.
Oh.
She's the worst, I gotta tell you. I don't know why. She sucks. Sometimes she'll get on, she criticizes us. She'll be like, I can't, this one time I was with my cousin and her boyfriend, who's now fiance. And so I was like, they were at an engagement party, and I was like, I love your tux. And he's like, so I didn't pick it. And he looked sad. And I was like, damn, I went to my cousin. I was like, why didn't you just let him pick out his thing? And she was like, what do you mean? I picked it out for him. He picked it out for himself. And I was like, that's not what he said. And immediately everyone was not happy about it. And the bridesmaid was like, get away from her. This is not okay. My mom got on me. She was like, I can't believe you were so insensitive. This is so brain dead, blah, 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 blah. And then my dad comes out of the closet. He picked out this outfit, and he was super happy. And he's like, what do you think? He's like, you have are you colorblind? Nothing goes with anything. This is great. You're so like this is why I pick clothes for you. And then she picks out. This is crazy. Lee, you laughed at that. Does she do that to you too?
All the time. Yeah.
Is this,
Were you talking about my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who else does it to you? What do you mean?
Everyone who sees how I dress.
What do you mean? You look fine.
Oh, really? I got lucky.
Also, you also sort of look like a Trojan. Did you know that? Like, you look like you're built well.
I feel like a Trojan.
You are also a self-conscious Trojan. Like, because like you're built like you have confidence, and then you talk.
It all falls apart.
You're like, but you're so funny too, which is like, it's just an interesting little dynamic.
Trojan ribbed for your friend. Yeah.
I don't even. He's a silly dude.
Yeah.
You both look good. I'm gonna say that. You both also. Well, my dad doesn't have hair, so you have that on him. He's good. He's a funny man. Okay. I get stressed out a lot. Let's see how much time we got. Okay. Good. I get stressed out a lot, and through therapy and stuff, I've learned how to process my emotions. But I process it a little differently than most people. And like when I process my emotions, I feel better. But it looks weird when I process my emotions. Like we'll be in a conversation and like I'll be stressed out and I need to process it for a second. So I just go like, they're like, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" I was like, "No, I'm feeling a lot better." And they're like, "It doesn't look like you look better. It looks like you look worse." And I'm like, I don't know how to. It's like when you're thinking. Like you can't concentrate. I can't concentrate on what you're saying and what I'm thinking. So I have to like zone out by like not thinking about you. It's crazy. My mom's also like, she and I have this like, we overthink a lot. Like we just go back and forth on the overthinking. And like sometimes we'll like be together and I didn't know this because she's like, she gets overwhelmed when like there's a disconnect when we talk to each other. Like she overthinks, I overthink. We don't really like, it's like mental constipation. Imagine like we're both mentally constipated. We can't concentrate because we're both mentally constipated. There's so much and we just can't get it out. And so we're talking, and the thing that I didn't like, I just get stressed out all the time. It's like just me. And so she gets like, I didn't realize that when she sees me, she's like, oh, like I'm doing something, so I'm getting him stressed out, and then so she gets more stressed out, and then like and then we get more disconnected, and then like I get more stressed out because I'm not spending time with my mom, and so it's just like this huge like cycle of like stress. I guess that's just sad. Okay, we'll just move on. Going back and forth. I'm also a little bit of a weirdo. I'm gonna say that. You guys aren't surprised. None of you. You assholes. All staring at blank faces. Okay, we understand. This is like. Water is wet. Okay. What else? But one of the things that I'll do is like I'll talk. Okay, Patty, you didn't have to be like, well. I mean, that is about the word. That is the most heinous reaction I have ever gotten. Okay, we're moving on. I'm hurt.
You call everyone assholes. Because it's different. Jack.
Sometimes I have a backbone. What else? So like, girls, you are pretty. I'm gonna tell you that. Like, I like, I stare and everything. And so like, but like I stare, in the ways that you're not supposed to stare. You know what I mean? Like I was at the gym and I was like, I saw this beautiful girl and I'm like looking at her and my brother's like, whatever you're doing, for the love of God, stop. Please stop. And I'm like, I can't. She's pretty. I can't. This is unconscious, okay? I'm sorry. And I do these like weird, I'll do weird things. Like I have a gym at my apartment, and there's like a little lounge up top. And like, I don't know why I do this, but like when I sit down, like I'll peek. I'll be like, oh, is there a pretty girl down there? And then like And then I'll see, and like, I'm not the only one who does this, because also the manager at my apartment also does this. He'll go in there and I'll be like, I'll look at him, I'll be like, that guy's a weirdo. God, weirdo. No, I'm also like that. So much stuff I haven't thought about yet. Okay. We'll leave it there. Have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let your girlfriend bite.
Okay. Hey.
There we go.
Pull it out so it ain't so tight. Whoa! Because we're dynamite. Jazzy, you going up tonight? Yeah. All right, guys, we got Jazzy going up. Yeah. Come on. Come up here, the one and only Jazzy. All right.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I have shit prepared today. But I'm working on...
Show me a picture.
What picture are you showing?
Yeah.
He's like...
Oh, no, she's going up. Put that stuff away.
Oh, please, thank you.
Yeah.
Gracias.
Ignore me.
Relax, breathe, it's okay. I usually like to have something prepared.
So I want to ask you, what do you hate about traffic?
What? Okay, what?
What do you hate about traffic in LA?
Oh,
Right.
everything. I drive now. Listen, for the last month, I haven't had a car.
Oh, terrible.
Life was different. Life was different. I realized I don't do well with death. I was driving my car, and all of a sudden it went, and I was like, what the? Okay, I'm gonna pull over, because this has happened to me enough times. I've been through 7 cars in 4 years. I was like, I'm gonna diagnose this. Pulled over to the side. I was like, I know he's not gonna turn back on, but I could dream. Popped the hood. I looked. I was like, okay, that's the engine. Check the oil. I don't got none. I crossed the street. I went to AutoZone. I got 2 quarts, and I was like, you know what, this is gonna be it. And so I filled it up. I think I put too much because it was like past the thing, and I was like, oh God, this is bad. I'm gonna fix this. So I called my uncle. I was like, hey, I'm having car problems. It just started, and it slowed down while I was driving. I need help. And he was like, what did you do this time? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, call AAA. I called AAA. The guy comes. He's like, I think you broke your belt. It was a VW Jetta. Was. And he said, once you break your belt, the valves are messed up. If the valves are messed up, if we pull it apart and we find that the pistons are busted, your car is dead. I said, sir, no, that, not another one. So I told my uncle, I said, I'm going to tow it to the desert. That's where he lives. In the desert, I recently got into spirituality. The desert is where you either come back to life or it's done for you, right? That's the final test of many, whatever. And I said, tow it to the desert. And the guy said, do you have an address? And I was like, yeah, let me figure it out. And so I called my uncle, and I got it. My uncle lives out there. He's also a mechanic for years. My whole side of the family does that. I don't. And so my uncle was like, okay, I'm sick now. And he got COVID. And so I'm like, I'm going to lose 2 people today. My VW and my uncle. Who's going to fix the car? I have no idea where I'm going with this, but we're going. That's so okay.
That's okay.
I'll sit down for this. Anywho, a week passes by. I sent him Theraflu. I sent him Tylenol. I sent him ibuprofen. I sent him hydration packets. I sent him, what else? Emergency. I said, take it all. Take it. get better. I need to drive. He didn't take it. He's like an old school Puerto Rican guy. His wife left him recently. It was for the best. It was for the best. I didn't like her. That was my aunt for all my life. And I was like, when will you be gone? And she finally left. Well, he do it. Wait, is this on? Okay. And, soon down.
Why didn't you Puerto Rican?
Yeah, you know, they have the girl do everything. And since she's been gone, I've been helping him with his taxes, helping him bathe the dogs, helping him paint the house, helping him his emails. He doesn't know. I'm the woman in his life now. So he's got to fix my car.
That's right.
And then he called me. He's like, you know what? I pulled it apart. The valves. They're bent as fuck. He's like, all of them. Every single valve. And I was like, yeah, I commit to things. I did it. And I was like, the belt though? What about the belt? And he showed me a picture. He pulled it with pliers. It was like snapped clean off. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to hold out some hope. And this is when I told you soon that I was like, I may have a car. I may have a new car. I don't know. And he told me this at that point. Denial, deep. And he's like, I don't know, I'm gonna take it apart and I'll see. And I was like, yeah, take it apart. He's like, there's like 1% chance that it's gonna be okay. The pistons are gonna be okay. And anybody who asks me, I'd be like, yeah, you know, if the belt is messed up, the valves are messed up, and the pistons. And they're like, dang, you know cars. And I was like, I know this car. And yeah, those pistons. They didn't look like pistons anymore. So he said, you need to get a new car. And he's like, when are you going to sell this? And I was like, please, like, it just happened. Like, fuck, give me a moment. Like, let me cry. Let me get this together. So I took 2 days. I went on Facebook Marketplace. I felt guilty as fuck because, like, this was my car for 3.5 years. A lot of the other cars lasted a few months. I loved them to death. And this one I had the longest. I still, like, I'm getting a little sad right now. I don't know why, but, like, I miss it. And I had to ride the bus. I took Lyft for a solid week before it added up. And I was like, okay, I guess she's a bus girl now. When I got on the bus, I was like putting money in, right? And I was like, why is everybody staring at me? God. It turns out there's an app now. Everything you could just tap, and it's called Tap. And so I didn't know, Patty. He's like, duh, girl. Shit, I was learning. Yeah. And at first it was fun. I was like, oh, it's kind of jolty. Like, there's no seatbelts. Like, oh, you know, sitting next to strangers. How's your day? How you doing? And after about a week, I was like, fuck my back. Like, oh my God. Like, where do I even rate this? Like, you can't like rate these Lyft bus drivers. It smells like piss in here. Like, who is it? Who did it? It was bad. How much time I have? Oh, what does that mean? 1 or 2? 2. Okay, anywho, I went on Facebook Marketplace. I found 2 people. One was on Craigslist. It was another VW Jetta. I was not letting go. I was like, no, this is a white Jetta. It looks almost exactly like my car. Like, I need to get this car. And then it was an 02, and it was $4,000. And my uncle's like, girl, you don't. That's an old ass car. Like, don't do it. And I was like, no, but it looks like the car I had. It'll be like it never happened. And then I saw this lady who had like an 04 red Jetta, and I was like, this is meant to be, because I had a black one before, rest in peace, and then I had a white one, and I was like, it only makes sense that I have a red fiery one, right? Like, that's the next step. It didn't work out. I don't know, it just didn't work out. I had the money, and she was like, oh, it's not ready yet until a few more days. And I was like, cool, okay. And then 2 days ago, I found a Hyundai Tiburon in 08. And that's a sporty little bitch. And I'd had that car years ago. And it was an 03, and it looked exactly like the car I had, but better. And I was like, I'll take this one. It's an 08. I met that guy. I realized I had trust issues. I went by myself. I borrowed my friend's dog. It was like a 90-pound rot lab mix. And I was like, this is baby Bo. Like, he's with me to protect me. And he bit people before, so I knew he'd do the job if I needed it. I thought I was going to meet some random, like, big guy. It was a 19-year-old kid. And he was just like, I won't take less than $3,000. I was like, respect. Let me look. Pop the hood. He pops the hood. So that's the engine, huh? He's like, yeah, that's the engine. I was like, cool. Show me the oil. Show me the oil. What's that belt look like? Looks good. Tires? Okay, pop the hood. He's like, we popped the hood. I was like, okay, cool, I'll take it. I'll take the car. I took the car. It's parked over there now. That's all I got. Thank you.
My name is Jasmine.
Oh.
Find me.
Yeah, I have a name. It's Jazzy. And you could find me at Jazzy Ayala, Ayala, at Instagram. Gracias.
Ayala, huepa. Huepa, chica, la puertorriqueña en la casa. Sigue, chocolate, la abusadora, que si se. No, Puerto Ricans are the only ones that can make songs with just 2 lines. Right? And keep it going like, café con leche, arroz con pollo. I say, café con leche, arroz con pollo. All right, Rivera's. All right, guys, we had a great time. Thank you, guys. And Mark, thank you for saving the show out there. And we'll see you guys Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're here. My name is Sunda Kronquist. Follow me on all platforms at Sunda Live. And we're out. Good night. I just called myself Sunda Light.
Did that ever go to YouTube?
I hope so. Yes, it did. He got it, right? Wait, you didn't get your number.
Oh, yeah, put it in that.
Oh, I don't know how much.
Does anybody want to be tagged in the Instagram Live?
I do.
Yeah, you're not tagged.
You can tag me.
Yeah, B Shorts.